Welcome to Fireteam Chat. I'm your host, Destin Director Legary. I get the tall chair. That's a new rule. I'm just kidding. I won't do that for the whole show. Just having a fun little gag. Joining me today is Travis. Thank you so much, Travis. And Fallout Plays.
Yo, what's going on, boys? Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us today. You were featured Movie of the Week. You carried a 9-year-old to Crucible Glory victory. Let's take a look at that clip really quick.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Great.
And happy. My comp rank, 3,500.
We have to be on our A game now, Ryan.
Thank you for being friends with me.
Yo, we got you. You're welcome, dude. Yeah, man.
So that was a look at the clip. You and CJ is his name. It's so nice to hear somebody named CJ finally made it to 5,500.
Yeah, it's never happened in Destiny before.
Yeah, never in the history of Destiny have we seen something so tremendous happen. We're going to talk about the changes, obviously, a little bit later. But let's start on this sort of feel-good piece of content. What was this like for you?
It was a lot of fun. I love doing comp help in general. I usually grab a buddy of mine who enjoys playing PvP. We'll just randomly pull people out of Twitch chat. And we got CJ randomly, young CJ. He won the raffle. He got on the mic. We knew right away he was really young. And, it doesn't matter. I know a lot of people are like, oh, no, don't invite kids. Don't invite squeakers because they can be erratic or crazy or whatever. But no, he was great, hilarious, very polite. And he played awesome. He was popping off with random weapons and stuff. It was just a very fun day.
I highly recommend people go actually check out the full video because he has some pretty good plays. One of the first ones that you actually show in your clip was where he used Leviathan's breath and he killed somebody with it.
Killed a bunch of people.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
The real question is, when are you going to carry Destin? Because he plays like a 9-year-old. And he really needs help.
You're not wrong. I think my KD is like
shade today.
1.2.
1.2.
Like
That's not bad. Eh?
It's not great. Could be better.
And Destin, have your people call my people. We'll work something out.
You're going to have to get in the chat and make a donation. Enter that raffle.
Oh, my God. Fallout, where can people watch your streams where you do these carries?
You can watch me at twitch.tv/FalloutPlays. And you can watch my YouTube content at youtube.com/FalloutPlays.
So something I wondered about that video was, how long were you playing with CJ? Like, how long did that full carry take?
I think it took about 6 hours.
Holy.
I can't really remember.
Damn, that's that's dedication.
Normally the procedure is, we play with someone until we help get them like 1,000 comp points or whatever. And then we move on to someone else. That way we can keep helping multiple people throughout the day. But
gotcha.
He was just such a fun kid that I kind of DM'd my partner, Ryan. His name is Rhythm. You should look him up on Twitter and Twitch. I just DM'd him and I'm like, we're playing with him all day. Like, we're not changing. He was like, yep, we're doing that.
Awesome.
That's really cool. Was that his dad in the background in some of the clips too?
It was, yeah. He told us that he played with his dad a bunch, which we thought was great. And then while we were playing, I kept hearing random outbursts of a grown man laughing, and I was like, CJ, is that your dad laughing in the background? He was like, yeah, he's watching the stream. So just every now and then when he would say something funny or just a random goofy moment in the chat, you just hear some random man laughing in the background. But
That's awesome.
He was a really great guy. So
yeah. Though this is why I love this community so much. Like, stuff like this and random acts of kindness in Destiny are like such a part of the community. It's awesome to see. So. Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about some of the news from this week. So there's a pretty substantial TWAB update, and thank you for sharing your story about CJ Fallout. Really appreciate
Anytime.
it. And good on you for doing that, for sure. Affinity is changing, and mods are changing. So I'm just going to read what Bungie said. When we introduced Armor 2.0 with Shadowkeep last fall, we got a lot of feedback on the new armor system, specifically pertaining to elemental affinities. Many of you have been asking for the ability to change elemental affinity types on armor. We'll be adding the ability to do this starting next season. You'll soon be able to change the elemental affinity on any piece of armor to either of the other 2 affinity types directly from the item's inspection screen by hovering your cursor over the armor's energy icon. This is intended to mitigate the experience of getting an armor drop with a stat roll you want, but the wrong elemental affinity. Changing an armor affinity type will cost 1 upgrade module. If your armor is already upgraded, this is the rub, If your armor is already upgraded to a higher energy level, the cost will be the total upgrade materials necessary to reach that energy value plus 1 upgrade module.
That's pretty expensive.
So here was my take on it. I was like, oh, this is great. And there it is.
There's the catch.
It's a pretty high cost.
The catch. I don't understand the necessity to make the cost that steep, because that's like Ascendant Shards.
Yeah, I mean, you already paid
Prisms.
to level it all the way up. It should just be an upgrade module to shift it around. But I guess they're trying to really make you decide what your dedicated sets are going to be for each affinity.
I think it was like, I was trying to think about that too, because I read that. I was like, wow, really expensive. I think they want to make it so that you don't feel as though you're like, oh, well, grind for armor is done. I got one high roll and that's it forever. But like, if you have a really good one, that could be the jack of all trade armor. But now if you want to change it to a different elemental affinity, you got to be like, well, is it worth it? Can I afford it?
Right. Yeah, I think you're probably right. They want you to have like at least 3 sets and, you know, have each one for elemental affinity. But yeah, does this fix the problem is my question. Does this fix like all of people's kind of gripes with elemental affinity? Because my understanding was that it wasn't really so much that you got an armor set and it had 1 element affinity and you were locked out of other stuff. It was more that the actual mods are locked behind whatever element you choose, right? Wasn't that people's original problem with it? Which obviously that wouldn't be solved under this model.
Well, it's sort of twofold. I mean, you can get the god roll that you want, but maybe you wanted, I don't know, shotgun on it. So you switch to that particular elemental affinity, and then, you know, you just go about your way. Just make sure you do that ahead of time. It also still costs upgrade materials. This feels like it's Bungie sort of saying, yeah, we know the affinity system is really annoying, especially like if you get an exotic that you really like.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about this. I think it's good. And like the second part of it, I think the material cost is incredibly steep. And I think that's a negative.
Yeah. It kind of strikes me as like being a Band-Aid solution. Like maybe they're incrementally seeing if this tweak will fix some of the complaints. And then, you know, if it doesn't, maybe they'll do another patch. But yeah, it doesn't seem like a new direction. It's more like a compromise to respond to players just generally not liking this feature.
Fallout, do you have any more thoughts on that topic?
Yeah, sure. I agree. It's totally a compromise. I'm not going to do cartwheels and backflips all day. It's just, but it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's an olive branch.
Yeah, not a backflip situation, but if they're going to give it to me, I'm totally going to take it. I will absolutely make the best of what Bungie is giving to us, but hopefully enough people will feel good about it to the point where we can get a little bit more flexibility with our loadout building. And maybe if it's not a perfect solution, hopefully Bungie continues to adjust the system moving forward.
Fallout, you are the winner of the mystery phrase of the day, a step in the right direction. You've won these 3 coasters I removed from your side of the set earlier in the show.
Let's go.
That's huge. Yeah. We don't give that to just anyone.
We constantly say a step in the right direction, right? And it's just like, it's good, but it's not quite what we expected. Okay, we'll give it a shot and we'll see how it goes. One of the other topics, though, is mods. So here's what they said about mods. We also received a lot of suggestions on how to improve seasonal mods. Starting next season, the seasonal armor mod socket example, Undying mods, Dawn mods, will also be able to use mods released during the seasons before and after the armor piece was released. For example, in case that's confusing to you, armor with a mod socket from Season of Dawn can now equip Dawn mods, Undying mods from Season of Undying, and Redacted mods from Season of Redacted. Good change.
Great change.
Yep. I don't think there's anything really negative I can say about this. I can keep rocking my Shadowkeep set. Or Undying.
Undying set, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God for that change. It's just like, I was trying to do a build with a couple of friends of mine the other night where we wanted to put on a bunch of Dawn seasonal mods and kind of abuse them a little bit in PvP. And we were trying to make this happen, and it was really hard because, like, I don't know about you guys, my vault is filled. Like super filled. So every time I get armor, I'm like, okay, how badly do I want to keep this new armor? You get a new piece of arc armor, but you're like, I already have a really good piece of arc armor. So you scrap the new one. But then I realize the arc armor, it's old. It's not Dawn. So I'm trying to find armor that can accept new Dawn mods. And I have like 1 piece of armor because I'm trying to keep all my stuff in the vault. And this is just what a great change. I don't want to have to. There's so much to keep track of. It's like, okay, I need one solar piece of armor from this season, one solar piece of armor from that season.
Yeah.
That way I can do all these mods. Just let us do whatever.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
this is great. And with the ability to kind of change the way that your armor looks with the reskinning, it kind of allows you to mix from cross seasons, and you can take your best piece from each season and that sort of thing. So
yeah, for sure.
Without making it look all janky and like you're just wearing a hodgepodge of armor sets.
Yeah, it is loosening things up a little bit. I'm very happy about that. But Fallout, you said the other winning phrase, you're going to win Travis's phone. Travis, your phone now belongs to Fallout. I'm sorry.
Didn't see that coming. Unprecedented.
And that phrase was vault space, the topic of the week. My favorite
I knew this was going to come up.
about, and probably the headline of this episode. Bungie, there's one major problem you need to fix in the game.
Really?
Vault
Just
space.
one? All right.
Well, I think vault space is honestly going to become a core problem, especially next season. I haven't even pulled the armor sets out of my battle pass yet because I do not have the space to pull for my alts that I don't run normally. And this absolutely needs to be addressed. This is a huge thing. You're talking about a game where you're encouraging your players to collect everything they possibly can. Thank God you've loosened up the mod restrictions. Thank God you've loosened up the affinity stuff. But now we have some really, really tough decisions to make going into part 3 of the 4 battle passes that we know about this far. And our vaults are disgustingly overflowing.
Yeah, maybe the problem isn't, I've actually thought that maybe the problem isn't vault space. It's the collections system, because it's been useless ever since the first season they released it, because you can't buy back weapons with automated rolls, and there's no way to like assign your preferred version of a weapon to the collection tab and then buy it back or anything like that. It just seems like, I don't know if vault space is ever going to be enough, but if they fix the collection tab in the right way, then vault space won't really matter, right? Just buy it when you need it.
Yeah.
If you have like a saved version of a weapon that you want, maybe you could like upload it to the collections and be like, I'll take that one later. Because right now, I just have so many things in my vault that's like, I may need it later. I don't right now, but I may need it later. Like I have a different version of a hand cannon that gives me dragonfly. I'm like, well, I'm not going to use it right now, but I could use it later. And I have, like Gambit Prime armor.
Yes.
And I don't play Gambit Prime anymore, but I'm like, well, I could. What if they introduced new cool loot that requires me to go play Gambit? So I got to hold on to my Gambit Prime Invader set. It's taking up room in the vault,
Yeah, I still have all my Gambit sets also, and now I'm probably just going to have to delete them.
Yeah.
Unless I'm like going for, I think there's a triumph associated with some of the sets or something.
Yeah, I've always thought you should just be able to assign a version of a weapon or piece of armor that you have as your collection version and be able to buy it back whenever you want.
That's a good idea.
Then it would basically mean vault space is irrelevant. Like you can keep the stuff that's sentimental to you, which to me has always seemed like that should be what vault space is for. If there's something you want to just have on hand, but everything else you can buy back.
Well, it's a game about collecting things, right? So let me pose this question to you guys, just so I'm not speaking for you. Do you think vault space is one of the core issues for Destiny players right now, or is it just for people like me that can't get rid of things? Travis?
I think it's definitely probably the biggest problem with people who are really into collection. I guess my thing is I'm really not. Like the only things I collect are like emotes.
How much vault space do you have?
I actually have plenty. I've got like 100 spaces left.
You're disgusting.
Yeah, no, it's because I pretty much, here's the thing, here's how I do it. I pretty much only play on one character, so I'm not having 3 sets of every armor ever set. I just play my Titan pretty much, and everything else I have I can just keep on the characters. And then I'm not really obsessed with collections. I'll find 1 or 2 weapons every season that work for me, and those will just be the ones I roll with. That's my situation. But I definitely think it is a problem for collections thing, and it seems like their solution so far has been to just not release anything new. Like every season, there's like 1 or 2 new armor sets, and
I mean, to that point, if that's true, that means it's having ripple effects on other components of the game where they're scared to create more armor sets. But they are. They have like all the new weapons.
Yeah, they are. Much at a
2
slower
new armor
rate,
sets
though.
per character.
Yeah.
They have the base version and the higher end version on your battle pass, plus new weapons also.
Yeah.
It's just so much. And if they do that next season with trials, which they probably will, like, dear God, what are we going to do?
I don't know.
Yeah. Paul, what do you think?
I think you're right. I mean, there are plenty of players out there who only do have one character. They keep the weapons that they like. They're not really into super deep collecting. They trash whatever they feel like they might not have use for. But Destiny, at its core, is a looter shooter. The first word being looter, there is a ton of loot to be gained. And like, yeah, it's a problem for folks like us, Destiny, where we're hoarders because Destiny is offering us unique rewards. We want to go after them. And part of their new strategy, at least the last time I checked, was creating these you had to be there moments. Remember from one of their like, we want to make the you had to be there experience. That goes hand in hand with doing unique things and getting unique rewards. So the vault is only going to get bigger and bigger. And I feel bad that we keep knocking on Bungie's door like, hey, sorry, Father, can we get more vault space, please? But like, they just keep giving us stuff, and they know we want to collect it. That's partially the reason why we play.
Yeah. Every season, I at least get one roll on all of the weapons. For example, I try and make it sure that I get at least the armor set. I mean, it's good that they're doing the mod system. Maybe that's their answer. A Band-Aid fix would be give us 100, 200 more vault spaces, but that does not fix the problem.
Yeah,
that would be a Band-Aid and also bloats the game.
And they've done it a bunch of times. They've increased vault space so many times.
I think we're at max vault space. I doubt they actually go back and do this again. I think they come up with a collection solution. And I think what you propose is a really good idea. I don't care what it is. If you tell me I can delete it and get some version of it again, that would help tremendously. Because already I can get rid of the stuff that I'm just sort of holding on to because I like. And anything for like sentimental reasons, I'm like, I will always be able to access that again and pull that out of my collections. And right now they're scared to do that. And I don't really understand why. In Destiny 1, we could burn our motes of light re-rolling the guns that we got, right? So we were able to have a gun and re-roll it. That's basically what this would be. We would just pull 90 guns out of our collection, right? Burn through our materials. You want us to burn through our materials anyway.
You sure do.
Why not just, okay, they're random rolls. Cool. Let me pull them out of collections with random rolls. I don't care. Like, are they concerned that we're not going to play the activities if we do that?
Yeah, I guess as soon as you get one version, you could just buy 90 versions instead of playing that activity a million times to get your God roll. So I see that part of it. I think that my solution of you getting a version that you like and assigning it to a collection is a way to bypass that. But like you said, it doesn't really matter, right? Like any solution would be better than what they have now, which is like just everybody hoarding it in there. And I think part of the reason that my vault space has been okay is because I'm not sentimental. Like once a season passes, I just delete the stuff from the last season. I focus on the current season. It's like, oh, the old meta doesn't matter anymore. Like, let's just get rid of those weapons.
Well, I mean, one thing they could do is they're like, okay, you want to pull it out of your collections? That costs 100 Vanguard tokens. Because they have all these currencies that are being underutilized.
That's true.
They could not make it about those resources. They can make it about a more finite resource, even though I have like 1,000 Vanguard tokens or something ridiculous,
But if you're spending 100 per, that'd be 10 guns.
Yeah, so that's 10 guns. That makes it so I know it's there. I'm like, oh, I'm safe.
Yeah.
That sniper I really like, I can still get it if I want it. But do I really need the Vanguard sniper? No, I have my Revoker. That's my go-to in almost all scenarios. But I feel okay because I can put that one in my collection and I can see it.
Yeah.
It exists in a place in my game.
I think in summary, the feeling we want is the same feeling we get when we unlock like a ghost shell. It's like you can get it back whenever you want. Like I'll immediately delete ghost shells. It's like, oh, it's not going anywhere. We want that feeling with all of the armor and weapons in Destiny.
Or when you put money in a retirement fund, you're like, oh, it's there. I feel safe.
This guy's comparing it to 40-year-old person problems.
401k married problems.
This is going over my head.
Fallout. Yeah. What do you think about those proposed solutions? Do you have any proposed solutions?
Yeah. What's your 401k for armor and weapons?
What's my 401k? I have no idea, man. I just know there's a problem. I'm not an expert in on the spot perfect solutions. It's just like I just know that there's that feeling that you get that you perfectly explained, where you're just like, yeah, like I do activities and I get loot drops and I'm like, oh, it's a great gun. It's like you feel like you have this huge closet, but it's not big enough, and it's filled with, you only have one closet in your home. And it's filled with everything, all your kitchen pots and pans and the vacuum cleaner.
Wow, you really are a hoarder.
The toilet paper. It's like you're trying to open up something and put it in there. I got to put my Mindbender shotgun in there, but I don't want it to, like, you have to make room.
Yeah.
It's very cluttered. And anything they could do to help alleviate the clutter would be incredible.
For sure. So Fallout, asking you a question. How many YouTube videos do you upload regularly? Because you have a YouTube channel, you stream on Twitch. You're posting pretty regular YouTube content. How many videos do you upload? How regular are you with your posting? And what kind of content do you post?
I think I try to do 2 YouTube videos a week. If I'm really productive, I'll get 3 done. Uh, you know, depends on the content. If I have a really big video, maybe I'll like a super in-depth deep dive guide. Maybe I'll just do 1 per week. But it's a mixture now of helpful guides for people to understand the mechanics of Destiny better. I do a lot of videos on weapon analytics, understanding weapons. What do you want to look for in a god roll for each weapon, for PvE, for PvP, how to just play better. And there's also a mixture of like just fun content of me just playing with the friends and having fun, like the video of us playing comp with CJ.
Yeah.
And are you on team donate or invest?
Invest. Stonks are looking good, boys.
Just dump it all in now.
Yeah.
Dump it.
It's like your 401k, Dustin.
Yeah.
You got to invest Fractal
Put it in
now.
there.
Yeah.
Make sure it's in a good ROI fund. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Yeah. So in 2020, this year alone, what videos have been popping on your channel, and why do you think that is? It's got to be God rolls on
a lot
the
of
hand
it is
cannon.
god roll focused, yeah. And also how to farm for certain weapons, because people are always talking about like, oh, I really want a good spare rations hand cannon. What's the best way to get a mind bender? Because we know, if you want a mind bender, you got to do that nightfall strike, but maybe there's a way you can do it really fast. You can burn through it 7 minutes. That way you're not wasting your time. You can get more runs in per hour. So the farming videos and the videos on what you're looking for in a weapon, I think those are the best ones on my channel.
Okay. So let's say I'm a lapsed player. I just hopped into Division 2 last night, and I haven't hopped in since I did the first raid, right? And I didn't finish the first raid. I just did like the first encounter.
That raid's hard.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I hop in there, and thankfully chat was there. They were watching me stream twitch.tv/Destin, youtube.com/the channel, and mixer.com/Destin.
Advertising.
Sorry. Yeah. No, but seriously, it was incredibly helpful to have them. Imagine what a Destiny player is encountered with if they didn't sign on in Season on Undying, maybe if they even haven't played Shadowkeep. Where do you even start to tell them what to play? What would be your recommendation for a new player coming to Destiny, Travis? What should they be playing first, assuming they haven't played Shadowkeep yet?
I guess they would just play the Shadowkeep campaign and...
Okay, so then 20 minutes later...
Yeah, right.
What do they do next?
20 minutes later, they start grinding Fractaline, I guess. That's it, right? That's it. I don't know. I guess I would tell them, start grinding Fractaline, maybe do the raid and wait until Trials of Osiris comes back next season. That's it. They're caught up.
Really?
Here's what I would say.
Blurry Fallout plays. Take it away.
Oh, yeah, you're
wide
focus.
question, right? So I would tell them to just explore, first of all. And then when they're exploring, if they come across something that interests them, go down that rabbit hole. So I had a friend who hadn't played in a while, wanted to do the raid. So we took him through the raid, and he's like, whoa, what gun are you using? I was using the Divinity.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's a special weapon that you can actually get from this raid. And so that was the rabbit hole. Like, so any gear that was interesting or jumped out to him, I was explaining, well, this is what you have to do in order to get that. But, that's not going to be the answer for everybody. Maybe there are some people out there who are lunatics who enjoy Gambit, and they hop on and they're like, oh, wow, that's a really cool armor set. How do I get that? Well, buddy, you go play Gambit. So whatever interests you, explore, look around, you find something that jumps out at you, look into it, and then find out what you have to do to acquire that loot. Some loot is going to appeal more to certain players than to others. That's my advice.
I agree with you. Strangely blurry Fallout plays. We don't know why that happened all of a sudden.
You're losing me?
But
Getting pixelated here?
But I actually hopped into Gambit, and I am working on the shotgun kills because I'm like realizing I'm actually really close to getting the title for the season. And I calculated it would probably take me about 20 Gambit games before I would be able to acquire that particular weapon.
And so you logged off.
Yeah, I did.
I knew it. He's like, what? 20 Gambit matches? I'm out.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm good. And then I started playing Division. Wow, you got my number.
I
Evan.
do. I
Jesus.
knew it. As soon as he said 20 Gambit matches, I was like doing the math in my head. Okay, so that's like 8 hours of Gambit.
But yeah, that's basically what happened. So I started playing something else. I like Fallout Blaze's suggestion about like what would you recommend a new player. I also say play through the Shadowkeep campaign. I highly actually recommend that they play through the current story with Saint 14. I really enjoyed the Saint 14 story.
Yeah, it's good.
I think that's really, really strong. And then along the way, figure out what interests you and then gravitate toward it. So I'm stealing your advice and I'm going to just agree with it.
Yeah, or just chase the exotics. I mean, there's a lot of exotics to go after. I mean, they're all pretty easy to get though.
That's what I did for so long. And did you give your advice?
Yeah, I did my advice, but wait till Trials of Cyrus
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Just start gearing up and getting ready for that because that's going to be a lot of fun.
So it's a little bit of a lighter episode this week. I don't have anything else planned for the show, so we're going to go crazy. And I'm just going to see if you guys have anything else you would want to talk about. Starting with you, Travis, no pressure.
Yeah, let's talk about Crimson Days because that happened this week.
Yeah, duh.
Yeah.
actually brought it on a show.
Yeah, I put it on the.
You wrote, Crimson Days is incredibly underwhelming. Thanks a lot, Bungie.
I did not say that.
Section.
Wow.
No, so I actually do think Crimson Days is pretty underwhelming. It can be completed in basically an hour, actually less than an hour, and you actually don't even have to play doubles or the Crimson Day event to beat it. You can just complete enough bounties to get like I think it's 100 of the hearts, and then
It's 400, I think, right? Or is it 100?
I think you only need 100 for both of the sparrows, and then if you've done everything in previous seasons, you already have everything else. Like literally, I logged on. The only thing I was missing were the 2 sparrows. They cost like 100 hearts. I went and did like a Nightfall Strike and got 75 of them, and then I just
Solo?
played with a double with another person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just one Nightfall Strike with me and one other guy, and then we go and we played like 2 matches, and we were like, cool, we have all the equipment. What else can we do? Are there any drops? Are there any special armor? Is there? Nope. There's a emote you can buy in the store, and that's it. Nothing else is new.
Let's talk about the mode, though.
I mean,
How do you feel about the mode? Because I actually really love the Crimson gameplay in PvP.
No, it's great, and the mechanic of you being stronger when you work together, and if they break apart, you can see them on the map and pick them out. That's all super fun, but nothing has changed, and there's not really any special reason to do it. There's no incentive is my problem with it. So I played it for I think 2 nights in a row, and by the end I was like, all right, well, we've gotten everything. We've played a lot of the mode. I guess we're done now. And yeah, that was it. So
I am shocked to hear you say that you would fight a Bungie employee in the parking lot.
just
You hate
based
this
on the
mode
Crimson
so
Day
much.
mode.
Based on the Crimson
How
Day
dare
mode.
you?
Of course, I'm just joking. I don't advocate for any violence, Travis. Don't do that.
Yeah, I would.
How could you even suggest such a thing?
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, I wish there were weapons. Last year there was a bow that we chased. Before that there was.
Well, the bow's there again.
I mean, yeah, but everybody has it. It's like,
Yeah.
you know. So there was one year where I just did it over and over again to get like a chocolate ghost shell and stuff like that. That was kind of fun. This year there's really nothing to chase, and the sparrows also aren't that cool, unfortunately. They're like when you ride them together, they make like a shape. I think it's like a heart. Like,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, but that's it.
Fallout. How do you feel about Crimson Days? Are you also underwhelmed?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. It's always cool when Bungie can deliver great new experiences to the player base. I am a little bummed out that, there's nothing new or exciting. I mean, same rewards pretty much, same PvP game type. Although I do enjoy, like you mentioned, I do enjoy doubles. I'm going to play some tonight with my fiance. It's going to be really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're just doing it more to play games together and spend time together. But in terms of like chasing down what they're offering, it's like, no, we already have it. It's good for people who might have come in with New Light, right? Did New Light players get access to the Crimson Days?
Crimson Days
Yeah.
is for everybody.
Yeah, it's everybody.
It's
now.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Then good for them. I'll let them have fun. And I guess it's to the point where if
You at least hopped in. Sorry to interrupt you. You at least hopped in and gave
Sure.
it a shot, right? This season, even.
Wait, say what? Hopped in and gave what a shot?
Did you play Crimson Days PvP?
No, I'm going to tonight for the first time.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, had a
Got it.
busy week so far.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they deliver really hard on like next season, then it's gonna be totally fine. I'm great if they are just like putting more of their eggs into a bigger, better basket rather than like, oh, let's spend all our time on making Crimson Days the best it can be.
Right.
So I hope that the new players are enjoying it. I'll have fun with it, with the fiance. Other than that, I'm just more looking forward to new content.
Right. So you're hoping that they're just heads down on Season of the Worthy, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah.
Got it.
And this is the last thing on the roadmap, so we got like 25 days.
There's Iron Banner next week. Again.
This is the last thing on the roadmap.
My thoughts exactly.
This is the first time I didn't even go into Iron Banner. I just see no incentive to. That's the third time they've had that armor set. It's fine for those who haven't had it.
Yeah.
But I think it might be something Bungie wants to consider addressing, or at least thinking about, because it's the same armor set. I don't really know why I would tackle that the activity.
Well, you got to focus on those 20 Gambit matches, Destin.
Oh God. I don't know why I'm so bad at shotgun kills.
That seems like a personal problem. They're really easy. You don't have to aim them, basically.
Just walk up and pull the trigger.
I've been sniping for so long that doing something close range, I'm like, oh, this is different.
Got it.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of PvP. I've been loving the PvP side of Destiny lately. What do you see people complaining a lot about Fallout? Like, what are they not enjoying about
complaining about
in the PvP space?
God. First of all, nobody in the Destiny community complains about anything.
Yeah,
I want to make
that's
that
what I was going to
perfectly
say.
Clear.
We give feedback.
Not in this. But when I do hear complaining, the rare times that I do, it's usually about matchmaking. It's usually about the meta, and usually about, I guess, mainly those two things. And if there's anything under that, sometimes it's like that there's nothing new to play in PvP. You know what I mean? Like, again, we're talking about Iron Banner. We're not going to play Iron Banner. Like, it's like, I want to be beaten by someone because they're better than me, not because they have this super dank 1050 power level armor loadout. And I'm like, come on, like, that's not me.
So in the TWAB last week, I think Bungie said that they're preparing some new weapon balances for the next season. Like what are some things that you would want to see in that you think would make the sandbox healthier and the meta healthier?
I have an idea. Delete Lord of Wolves. Why in the swear words do you allow Lord of Wolves and Telesto to continue to be a thing?
Yeah, I found the PC player.
Yeah.
They're pretty nasty.
It's funny. I try to play on PC and console. I try to rotate around, but it's funny to hear because the console people, for the most part, they have no problem. People don't abuse Lord of Wolves on console because the recoil is too intense on the controller. On PC, it's like a frozen rope.
Yeah.
And I agree. The Lord of Wolves when I get killed by that, I'm like, it's not even fun. You know what I mean? I just wish, like, just mixed up a little bit,
just
fellas.
Cheap.
A little stale here.
I love that you describe it as a frozen rope, because I immediately got a mental image of that, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? That is kind of what it is like. It's just, I would say a laser beam, but you're right.
Frozen rope instead of a laser beam.
Yeah. Well, that's what he said.
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked
good.
it. That's cool because he's right. That is what it's like on PC, and that's why I want it gone. Just get rid of it. It's so cheesy, and
Console Master Race.
You're making the other team sweat when they start busting out Lord of Wolves. It's so frustrating.
So you're ready to come back. You're ready to come back to consoles. What you're telling me, to escape Lord of Wolves and Telesto.
Definitely. What weapons do you want to see tweaked?
I basically just want like all weapons to be usable. I mean, that's been the holy grail. I think fusion rifles are in a pretty good place. I still think shotguns are too dominant. I still think that snipers need some sort of middle ground between being completely useless and having an insane recoil and being like, death machines like they've been lately, where you can be getting shot and just get a headshot. But yeah, I don't really. I guess I would like to see like auto rifles and some other gun types that don't get used as much become at least plausible. But I don't think Destiny's ever accomplished that yet.
Do you need to go?
No.
And Fallout, I apologize. I interjected before, but Travis was asking you, what weapon balances do you want to see?
Other than Lord of Wolves? It's a really good question, because some things feel really good at times and then like a little off at other times. On PC, every now and then I'll feel like grenade launchers are kind of a pain in the butt. Someone killing me with like a hunter jumping over me and killing me with the mountaintop. Yeah, that'll feel really cheesy because it's very easy to aim grenade launchers on mouse and keyboard. Maybe the Erentil specifically on console, because it's very, very popular on console.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really too sure. I don't know if I agree about auto rifles. I do want all weapons to reach a place where they feel really good. I'm like, you ever see this? Is a wow, what a reference! Ace Ventura, where he loves all animals. but
Wow.
hates I know, right? We're showing the age here, but like I love all weapons except for auto rifles. It's like, remember in early Destiny 1 when auto rifles were really strong?
Yeah, that was a pretty
Don't really
gross time.
think-
Yeah.
it was just you hold the trigger down and you're like, all right, shoot, and you're dead.
Yeah, I'm not saying they should be dominant. I'm just saying, like, you never see them now. Because if you're close, you would just use a
never see them.
sub,
That
and
is
if you're
true.
far away, you just use a pulse, or there's just better options.
If they could bring something unique to the table
Yeah.
for auto rifles without making them become the next use this or you fail weapon,
Right.
then I would be on board with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's actually all the time we have for Hello to Your Lovely Wife. Fallout.
Fiance.
I'm sorry, I jumped the gun a little bit.
Can you get a really good shot of her butt?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Fallout, real quick, where can people find you?
You can find me at youtube.com/FalloutPlays, twitch.tv/FalloutPlays, and on Twitter @FalloutPlays.
All branded up.
And Travis, you have experience in marketing, right?
You sure do.
Yeah, so if you're looking for the best marketer guy I have ever seen, give Travis a call. You can email him
Yeah, you can
at
find me at Ty Guy Travis on Twitter.
Ty Guy Travis on Twitter. All right. That's it for this episode, everybody. Until next time,
Guardians out. That was a